Hey there, are you grieving the potential loss of a loved one or feeling overwhelmed with the loss of someone you care about? If so, you're in the right place. Lisa Hartung here, and this podcast is designed to guide you through topics surrounding death and dying. We'll dive into multifaceted aspects of grief, offering you a blend of personal stories, expert insights, and practical advice for your grief journey. May this be a safe space for you to learn, listen, and ask questions about your own life and loved ones. So grab your favorite beverage and let's dive in. Welcome back to another week of Giving Grief Grace. I am thinking of all of the military families out there as we celebrate Memorial Day weekend in the U.S. this weekend and celebrate those who made the ultimate sacrifice. I am sending love and gratitude to you and their families, and thank you for your service. And may you come and visit your loved ones who are grieving this weekend. I am excited to announce that today's special guests are very near and dear to my heart. We are celebrating a big milestone birthday in the family this week. My great aunt Lucy Williams DeRoche turned 100 years old. So we have a newly minted centenarian in the family. Some things I thought it might be fun to look at. Okay, so what happened on May 20th in 1926? So some historical events. Belgian government of Jasper takes power. Congress passes Air Commerce Act, licensing of pilots and planes. And the Railway Labor Act became law in the U.S. So just a couple fun facts there. To get on to our real fun guests, I just had such a delight chatting with these two women. So my great aunt Lucy and her daughter, Tammy DeRoche, who is my first cousin once removed. I think anytime I connect with people who are in their 90s and later, I'm so amazed at just the breadth of experiences that they've undergone. And, after 100 years, Lucy has really seen it all from, the birth of the automobile and planes, and then computers and cell phones. She experienced the Depression or the aftermath of the Depression, but it's just so wild to think that she's been able to live through all of this, and what resilience. Like, she just keeps going, and my goodness, it was so fun to chat with her. So a little bit about Lucy. She was born and raised in the Reedfield, Mount Vernon area of Maine. She was the second of 4 children to Lee and Erla Williams, and she really lived an adventurous life. So she grew up on a farm in rural Maine. Then she went on and graduated from college and taught school for nearly 40 years. She taught in Pittsfield, Maine, Beverly, Massachusetts, and mostly Yarmouth, Maine. So after her first husband's death in 1968, Lucy became the solo parent for her young daughter, who was 6 at the time. And then after she retired in 1985, Lucy worked the phones at LL Bean over several holiday seasons and enjoyed traveling around the country and the world. Lucy is also such an incredible person because she has spent thousands of hours volunteering in different departments at the Maine Medical Center in Portland and Falmouth, Maine. Her main enjoyment has been spending time with family and friends. As you can believe, at the age of 100, she has outlived a lot of her family members and countless friends, and she has outlived 3 of the special men in her life. Her first love was her husband, Vincent DeRoche, who died at 41. Her second husband and travel partner, Gerald DeRoche, he passed away in the mid-2000s, I think. And then she had a special friend of Jim Martin for nearly 12 years. And Jim recently passed away at the age of 103. Jim and Lucy were star volunteers at the local medical center in Maine. And, just such a gift to be able to spend time with both of them. So at age 97, Lucy was still driving and living alone in Maine. She decided to be closer to her daughter and moved to Everett, Washington in 2023 to be near her daughter and her family to start a new chapter in life's adventure. So, Lucy, I'm so grateful to have you on the show today. And you brought your daughter, Tammy DeRoche. Tammy grew up in Yarmouth, Maine, and is Lucy and Vincent's daughter, only child. And she is my first cousin once removed. After Vincent died when Tammy was just 6, she and her mom formed this really strong mother daughter bond. And they have remained close over the years and traveled around the world together, which you'll get to hear about in the show today. Tammy has moved around the country with her husband for work or school. And now Tammy is semi-retired. She's a physical therapist who lives in Everett, Washington, with her husband, Jim Ryan, and their daughter, Mia. So lovely for Tammy and Lucy to be together again. They lived on opposite coasts for many years, and so now they're both in Everett, Washington. And while we miss them on the East Coast, it's so much fun to FaceTime and to keep up with them, especially for the newest centenarian in the family. So without further ado, please welcome to the show, Lucy and Tammy DeRoche. So grateful to have you both here today. Lucy, I'm super excited to chat with you about your 100th birthday. And again, I brought these sunglasses
Oh,
special. The happy birthday sunglasses need to come out when we've got to pull out all stops. It's not every day that you get to meet a
right.
centenarian.
So
Oh,
true.
God.
Those are so great.
So before we hit record, we were talking about what age you're feeling, right? We have our age that we are in our numbers, but what age do you feel inside?
I don't think I even feel like 45 even.
45.
That's a
Isn't
great.
that fabulous, huh?
Yeah. I've always been able to come and go. I just feel I have not depended on my daughter to take care of me right now. I still have my independence.
Yes. It's so incredible. You have been such an inspiration for me as I'm growing up. You are my grandmother's sister.
Yeah.
And Tammy, your daughter, is with you today. And Tammy, I guess you would be a second cousin.
I think so.
Is that
Yeah.
right?
Or
My
first cousin.
dad's cousin.
Or
You'd be a
yeah,
first cousin to my dad. So,
right.
Oh, my gosh.
I'd have to look at the
um,
cousin chart.
yeah, we've got to figure that out.
Right.
But it's just been so fun seeing, in 100 years, life throws you curveballs, and you have been someone that just keeps going, and you keep on rolling with the punches, changing with the times. And I think that it's just inspiring. Not everyone can say that, Lucy. So,
That's
um,
right.
I'd love to know what your secret is.
No, I feel I've been really pretty healthy for my life,
Yeah.
all through my life, really.
hmm hmm What are some of your secrets, though? How did you stay so healthy and make it to 100?
That's a good thing. I'll have to think of that. I guess the one thing is to keep moving.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Keep moving.
Yeah,
hmm
because if you sit down, that's kind of, I say, the end. Because I have my feet, and I do want to keep on moving as so long as I can.
Yeah. And one thing that I really like that you kind of made a practice of is getting out every day and walking.
Yeah,
And
She still
even if
does.
it's just a little ways, you
yeah,
you're still getting up and moving around and
yeah. And I, even here, I try to go down as often as I can and go outside by myself. and I go to one end of the building, and then I go back to the doorway, and then I go the other way. And then I call it a day of walking.
You're like, that's good. I'm all set. Yeah. But yeah, that's, you live in kind of a group community now. And so that's great that you're able to um even make use of going if it's raining out, right? Then going
That's right,
around on each side of the building and
right.
I'm sure people say hi to you while you're doing that
Yeah.
and maybe join in. Do you have any friends that you walk with?
No, I don't, because I never thought to ask them, even though there are people in the same building that I am, and I might meet with them for lunch,
Hmm.
but I never think of asking them if they want to go for a walk, because it's not that far, but it gives me some exercise and fresh air, and I love the fresh air.
Hmm. Yeah, it's so nice to actually get outside. And so, you grew up in Maine, in rural Maine on a farm. And so, being outside is just it's ingrained in you.
Right, that's right. We went, oftentimes the four of us would go together, and we, you know where the was. Across the road was on the bank, one side was gardens, and the rest of it, lower half, goes, I don't know how far it went, but it was all grassed over. So we go across and, oh yes, and if you went straight down from the gate that we went through to go into that area, there was a place where a company might come in and get the not the snow, but whatever the land is, if they were doing something, that they'd come and go down in the pasture. And of course, I know they must have paid, because today, I guess it's a big thing to get, get work from a side you weren't using. But I thought my young years were really good.
You liked living on a farm with your three siblings and your parents, right?
I
Yeah.
did. Unfortunately, my husband-in-law, he died quite early, didn't
He did.
he? Yeah,
He was only 41.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. And that was your first husband, Vincent,
yeah,
Tammy's dad.
That's right.
yeah,
And Vincent had been sick.
He had lung cancer.
Mm.
yeah.
41. I didn't know he was that young.
So
Yeah.
young, right?
Oh my goodness. And so how was that for you, Lucy, losing your spouse at such a young age? And Tammy, were you 8 or
I
6?
was I was 6, almost
6.
7.
Yeah,
Wow. And how was that for you, Lucy, as you were navigating losing your husband and being a mom as Tammy was growing up?
I just had to face it, that and make the decisions by actually having talked over with you, because I had no husband to talk with, but it's her that I'm talking about, and I think it helped when I talked with you
Yeah,
a lot.
I think so too. She included me in all kinds of decisions that I probably wouldn't have been part of, you know, if Dad had lived, but she was tough. She was mom and dad to me for
There had to be for years.
for the next 50, almost 8 years.
Wow.
Dad's been gone almost 58 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how much, that only strengthened your relationship together.
Right.
And really solidified that camaraderie, right? And what a gift it was for you to bring Tammy into making those decisions and discussing, what do we want to do?
Right.
Because many kids at that age don't get consulted, right?
That's
It's okay, we're doing this. So.
That's right. Well, she still did a fair amount of that. But I probably had more options than most kids.
Yeah. And then Lucy, you later married Gerald. And how much later was that after losing Vincent?
Can't remember.
Well, Dad died in 1968, and you married Gerald in 1975. So what's that, 7 years? Yeah.
Must have been about 7 years.
Wow. And then Tammy, did Gerald adopt you?
No,
No.
no, he is my dad's older brother.
Mm-hmm.
So we all still had the same last name.
Yeah. Yep.
But
That
he was,
makes it easy.
yeah, it did make it easy. And I just continued to call him my uncle. I mean, I would refer to him as my stepdad, but he was my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you were in your teens by then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
14, I think.
14. And then through high school, he was there. And it was fun, Lucy, seeing you and Gerald go on trips with your sister Alice and her husband Hunk.
Did we ever?
Yes, you went
Oh
on
my
many
gosh.
trips.
The four of you would go everywhere. And I always remember thinking, gosh, Aunt Lucy is just the best trip planner because you would go to a place and, I don't know if it was being a school teacher for all of those years of saying, okay, this is what we're going to do. We'd have a whole itinerary and really cover the ground of wherever you went.
You did. You really did. 'Cause the first big trip that she took me on was to England for a month. England, Scotland, and Ireland in 1971. So Dad had only been gone 3 years.
And you went with me.
Yeah, and you planned the whole month.
Yeah, I think you used to be concerned because when we talked about going, I went ahead, figured it out for where we'd be staying, how long we'd be going, and all that. I thought nothing of it. I just made it.
I do remember. Do you remember I was misbehaving? I was only 9, and I would be misbehaving on the trip occasionally, and you would tell me, if you still misbehave, I am going to send you back home, but I'm not coming home. I'm going to continue the trip. And that would scare me into behaving because I didn't want to leave.
You would say, okay, Mom, I'll listen to you. Like, wow, what a cool trip to go on.
Right.
So England, Scotland, and Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And this is 1971. There's no computers. Traveling abroad really wasn't a huge thing in the States at that time. And so this is really, really cool.
No cell phones.
No cell phones.
Yeah, and I must have somehow, we didn't run out of money when we were traveling either. So I always had enough, but I can't figure out what it was that.
We used traveler's checks back then.
Yeah, that's what it was. I saved it. I mean, because traveler's checks were always cashable anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think that's what made me feel comfortable, because I knew that I could use my money anytime that I had to.
Right, because this is before credit cards were really a thing as well.
That's right.
Um, yeah. And did you ever feel uncomfortable as a woman traveling with your daughter?
I never did.
Yeah, Wonder Woman there. You
That's
can
for sure.
conquer it all. Like that's a really, really amazing trip. Are there any other trips that come to mind as well that you may have gone on together or you went on with Gerald or with friends?
What other trips stand out, Mom? I can think of a couple.
Well, you tell yours and then I'll see if I can
Okay.
think the others.
Well, they don't include me, but I know you went to Hawaii. Now, was that with
Yeah.
Alice and Honky and Gerald? You enjoyed that trip a lot.
Yeah, I think they did go with us.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Did they go to Bermuda with you also? I don't remember who went. You went with somebody.
I think mostly it would have been them.
And then your big trip, you took 3 months when you retired. And you went with Bertha and Fred Ross in the camper and you drove across the country to Alaska.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you took 3 months and
yeah.
drove across the country. And if I remember correctly, I'm sure that you would have done something cool in each stop along the way.
Oh, yeah. We knew where the places we wanted to see, and
Mhm.
those I had already in my mind, so that when we were in that area, then we went to it. And I know that if they had anything to do with the trip to in getting it, I don't think they did. I don't know. I just seem to have it in my head. You can plan something and you can map it out in your mind
Yeah.
and you'll get there.
And I think you went on the ferry boat, right? That goes up through the inland passage.
Yeah.
And you had like every stop that they were going to be at, they had stuff planned to do. They researched. You did.
Yeah. So how did you do that, Lucy? Did you go to the library or was there like a travel agent that you would go through? Because you were so meticulous in your trip planning.
I might have talked to at one person that did the planning, but basically I told them what I'm going to do, and I want to go from here to here and stop at places. So then when I tell them what I wanted, didn't take long to make it out. We went on several different trips, really.
Mhm. Those were the biggest ones, though.
The what?
Those were the biggest trips, I think. But
Yeah.
you went on a lot of other
Yeah.
side trips.
Yeah.
And then every time I moved around the country, you came and visited and played tourist. That was
Right.
fun, having her visit me all over the place.
Yeah, isn't it always great being able to, follow your kids
Right.
and then see them in their natural habitat
Right.
and you moved from Maine out west to be
Right.
with Tammy and how wonderful has that been for you
Right.
to now be together in the
Right.
same place after so many years of living on opposite coasts?
Right.
It is so nice.
Yeah.
I know you miss Maine, but I sure love having you here with me.
And I don't have any reason to go back to Maine as long as I'm near you. And the farmhouse has been sold, isn't it?
Your own when you grew up, that farmhouse? That's been sold. You still have a house in Maine though.
The one we grew up in?
The one you grew up in has been
Yes.
sold. Yeah, but the one I grew up in has not been sold.
Oh. But I wonder if my house still stands.
Oh, yes. It looks the same as when you left it 2.5 years ago.
And I keep saying I need to go back and check it out.
I know.
And I haven't gone back yet.
Well, you know what? Next time I'm there, I can bring the phone and we can FaceTime and you can see it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Oh, that would. Yeah.
Give it a little visit. But how nice has it been? What's been your favorite part about being in the same area as Tammy?
What's your favorite part about living here near us?
Well, basically, I am here because of you.
Right.
And you get to see your granddaughter.
That's true. You
Yeah,
can see
and the
me
granddaughter too.
and
but-
Jim.
And this place I'm in right now, I have a combination living room and kitchen, and it's like an L shape. The refrigerator and ovens and everything are off in a smaller area as you come in.
Yep.
And the breakfast dish table is right across from the kitchen area. So that kept food in that area. And then I don't know how big a space this is.
Oh, but there's room enough for like a living room and your bed and your dresser.
Yeah, I have bed, my sitting chair that I use most of the time. And then by the window, the couch.
And your kitchen table is really your puzzle table.
Oh,
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
takes her meal in the dining room.
so I think that's part of how you stay young, Lucy, is
And I
you're
don't know-
always working on a puzzle.
Yeah, that's good too.
So what
Yeah.
does the current puzzle look like?
Do you want me to get the picture of it?
Huh?
Should we show Lisa the picture of the puzzle you're working on?
Oh, yes.
It's always so fun to do puzzles, isn't it?
It totally is. This is the little picture that came with it. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, birds.
Birds.
Oh, how fun. And each one is a different color and has different shades.
Then they all have little feet, and then there's musical notes and music symbols between everything.
Oh, how cool.
It's a cute one, isn't
Yeah.
it? I'm not even sure where this one came from. It was here when I came in today. I don't know if her friend Aida brought it or if there's a little library here. It might have come from the library.
Oh, that's the best.
Might have been right on the table because maybe when you were here, you might have left it because I was looking at it and it's one that I especially like.
It's very
Yeah.
cute. It's harder than it looks.
I can imagine. Those sometimes are very deceiving. Yes, and I remember, Lucy, before you moved out of Maine, my mom sent a whole bag of puzzles over to your house. And you and your friend Jim would go and do the puzzles. And then when you both moved to an assisted living space in Maine, you brought the puzzles and you were like the cool kids on the block because you had all these puzzles.
Yeah, you guys did 1,000-piece puzzles together,
Yeah,
didn't you?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The table's not that big here, so she's 6 to 500.
Yeah. Well, you know, you got to be realistic with the space because puzzles do take up a lot.
They do take up
Now, now Honky, your brother-in-law used to steal the last piece of the puzzle and hide it. Does anyone do that for you? Or does anyone do that to you now?
Did he do it?
I didn't know that he did that. Nobody does that here, though.
No.
Although not on purpose. A couple times you finished the puzzle, but there's a piece missing, and then we found it like under the radio or on the floor.
Get in those places, I'll never know.
One day it was actually on top of part of the puzzle that was done, but it blended in. So
Oh my gosh.
we were like, we're missing a piece, but we found it.
You're like, where is it? Yeah, I hear you on that. But doing puzzles, it just keeps, it's a great way for your mind, dexterity to keep working and keep, doing those mental acrobatics, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you love to do, Lucy? Or you've loved to do in the past? Something with like a favorite pastime?
Well, I think for one thing, I especially may make the information out for a trip. I just love doing that. And you look about to see what's near around it, what else that you can see. I don't want to miss a thing.
You always would get the, I don't even think they make these anymore, but AAA sold like a travel guide for every state and
Yeah,
different countries. You would always go to AAA and gather up all the state guides, the states you'd be driving through.
Right.
So you could find, different sites
right.
or a good hotel or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that's just so fun, right? Because you're almost like living the trip or thinking about the trip as you're
Right.
going on it.
And I think you always went with us many times.
Yeah, I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah. So one thing that I really thought has been so cool that you did in your earlier life, Lucy, was you would have specific days that you would go to specific restaurants and get a specific meal. I don't know if you wanted to share a little bit about those special meals with us because I just thought how sweet it was when Jim passed away, that the people from the restaurant came and celebrated how you and Jim would come, once or twice a week.
Do you remember the restaurant you and Jim went to?
I've forgotten now.
The 99?
Oh, yes.
And your waitress Tully,
Yes,
who
yes.
became a friend.
Yeah, and she even, after he died, I still saw her for a number of years. That was in Brunswick.
In Brunswick?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you went on, was it Thursdays and Sundays you would go?
I think was it Thursdays and Sundays? It might have been. It sounds right.
On Sundays?
You and Jim went to the 99 twice a week. Was it Thursdays and Sundays?
It was a couple of days a week, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then was it fish on Sundays and then you would have shrimp on Thursdays?
I don't remember that part because I like both anyway.
Yeah.
I remember you shared the main course. They would split it but they would give you your own side dishes.
Yeah, they would.
And then there was, I remember on your 90th birthday, my sister had just given birth to her second child. And so I flew up and was able to go. You had a special seafood restaurant that you used to love to go to on the coast of Maine. I'm trying to think of your favorite food that you would get there. Was it clam chowder?
Well, what did they have at the, was it fish chowder? And the blueberry muffin?
Oh, yes.
I think it was
Yeah,
fish chowder, wasn't
I
it?
think it was.
And a big blueberry muffin on the side.
Yeah,
But that's called the Dolphin, right?
I think it was.
Yeah, the Dolphin restaurant. And we did all go there for your 90th birthday. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because you,
Let's see, your 90th was what year? Oh my gosh.
Oh, was 16.
Okay, so Aunt Alice was
2016.
already gone, right? But
But Honky came.
you were there and your mom and dad. Some of Alton's kids were there.
Yeah.
Wesley, I think, was there.
He
Sharon,
was. Yep.
Dale
Yeah.
came.
Yeah,
I don't think Gail was home, but
I don't remember. But probably all of those are gone now, huh?
no, most of them are. Sharon and Wes are gone, and Emily, but most everybody else is still around.
Are they still in Maine?
Well, they're all over.
Yeah. Yeah, many of them are in Maine. I
That's
live
true.
in North Carolina now, but I go up and I see Honky every time I go up to Maine.
That's so
Oh, I
good.
bet. That was good.
Yeah, he's 97.
That's amazing too.
Yes,
Oh my
it is.
gosh.
Wow.
Yep, still driving. So, that's,
Yeah,
That was the year Mom gave up her car, 97.
I think that's a good idea.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I remember, Lucy, you were 97 and Jim was 100 and still driving
Yeah.
when you had left Maine. And I thought, wow, you're just such an inspiration. And so thinking about this, like you have really weathered, the depression and the 50s, the 70s with all of this change. And then we have technology, that the tech boom of the millennium. What's been your favorite decade?
I think one of them I liked was up in Alaska.
What was your favorite decade? Was
Yeah.
that your favorite decade, the time you went to Alaska? That would have been the 1980s.
I was wondering if I had been there by that time.
And did you go again with a honk and Alice in the 90s, maybe, to Alaska?
I think you only went once, right?
Where?
To Alaska. Did you only go once?
Well, being on the coast, I went up more than once.
To Alaska?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. I went at least twice.
Okay.
There we go.
There's a trip I didn't know about.
Well, if you live near it, you might as well go up to it.
That's right.
It won't
An
come to
opportunist.
You, that's for sure.
Now, did you go to Canada, living in Maine? Did you go to Canada often? The DeRoche family is French Canadian.
That's right. They were from Prince Edward Island. So
Yeah.
did you go to Canada often? I know you and I went a couple of times to Prince Edward Island, and you and Dad and I went to Montreal for Uncle
Yeah.
Arthur's wedding.
Right.
Then you and I went to Quebec City for my 16th birthday, I think.
Wow.
I think so. I think we did.
Oh, and we took I think it was a ferry called
The Scotia Prince?
before that even.
Yeah.
The Prince of Fundy. Did we go on the Scotia Prince too?
Yeah,
I think we went on both.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, that was fun. We didn't go to Canada a lot though, really, considering it wasn't that far away.
Well, that's why. We didn't get to Texas and those and Florida.
Do you know how many states you've been to? Are there any on your list that you haven't been to?
I think I've been in most of them, but I have thought about it several times. All the states around the country, all of the ones at the edge of Canada and the oceans and so forth. I don't exactly know how many miles it was, but I know I went. I haven't gone back to Alaska since I've been out west
Mm-hmm.
again because I've already been there. Sometimes I go back, but that one, I didn't think there was enough there to make me encouraged me to go back up again.
Mm.
And I think there are some states in the southeast that I don't know that you went to. Did you ever get to like Mississippi, Alabama? Did you go to those?
If any of them I missed, I would be in the southern part because I was always at the edge of the country or,
Yeah, you did all the perimeter.
yeah,
Mm.
I think you're right. I think I did miss some of them.
I bet you got 45 to 48 of them at
Yeah.
least.
Think about that. Like, that's so impressive.
We, we, so Mom and Alice, her sister, were your grandmother, were visiting me. This was in like 95, maybe 1995. And we went on a day trip over to the Olympic Peninsula because I was living in Tacoma at the time.
Yes.
So two funny things about that day trip. The first thing was there was a game farm there, which I actually no longer support, knowing what I know about animals and stuff. But at the time, they took animals that had retired from like show business and they gave them a home to live in. But and they had a part of the park that you drove around your own car on this route. It was one way, and they told you do not stop because there are loose animals.
Yeah.
But you could buy like a loaf of bread and you could feed the animals out the window. So I'm driving, Mom's in the back, Alice is in the passenger seat,
Right.
and then a zebra comes over and wants some bread. And Alice is like being very slow. Like I think she wanted to make sure like all the animals got the bread. So she was being so slow that the zebra stuck his entire head into the car. And then Alice is screaming. I'm trying to keep the car moving because they said don't stop.
Right.
Gets up heaving the entire loaf of bread out the window so the darn zebra would just get away from us. So that was one funny thing. The other funny thing was they had read in a AAA travel guide that there was a 6-foot tall statue of John Wayne over in some town on the Olympic Peninsula. So it gave the address, said where it was. It was like at a marina. So we went to this marina, you, me, and Aunt Alice, and we're like parked. We're looking around, figuring 6-foot statue, we should be able to see it, right?
Yeah.
We couldn't find it. So we went into the building and we're like, we came to see the 6-foot statue of John Wayne. And they were like, it's not a 6-foot statue. He takes us over to this little display case. It's like a 6-inch
I remember that.
statue, but AAA had it as 6 feet. It was tiny little figurine of John Wayne.
Like, here's this little memorabilia.
Alice and Mom were so completely disappointed.
They wanted a 6-foot statue.
Right.
Right. Oh, and then we went to a restaurant called Bear Drug. It was an old-fashioned drugstore turned into a restaurant from like the 1800s. And we had lunch, the three of us. And then the waitress came and she gave us our check and everything. And she said, I hope you'll come back and come back soon. And your grandmother said, oh, I won't be back. And I was, and I said, well, because she doesn't live here. I had to like add why she said that. It wasn't anything bad, but the waitress looked really sad for a second.
She's like, oh my gosh.
So that was a very fun.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, too much fun. Oh, yeah. Wow. So, Lucy, for your career, you were working in the school, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about your working life and what kept you getting up and going to work each day.
Well, truthfully, I liked teaching. I really did. And I liked the kids that I had. I don't think there was a kid that I didn't have that, even if he was a nut sometimes, I still liked him.
Yeah, you've told me that before, even if they were kids that kind of misbehaved,
Yeah.
mom could always see the good in them.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so sweet. And what grade school level did you teach?
Fifth graders were what, about,
Fifth graders are about 10, I think.
yeah, 10.
And that's what you taught most of your career. You taught third grade, I think, a little bit.
I did 1 year, but fifth grades were the ones I really liked. They were full of energy, and I could still help them see what you do and not do.
Mm-hmm.
So I always stayed fifth grade. I wouldn't teach any eighth grader.
They were too much. That's in the teen years.
Right. Oh,
Yeah, and I wonder if you were an inspiration for my mom because, she started dating my dad in 71. And so, and they would have when he brought her, home and during holidays and stuff, they would have seen you and you were a teacher at that point, and mom ended up going into fifth grade teaching.
oh,
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
yeah.
she specialized in literacy and helping kids, hone their reading skills at that fifth grade level. Is there an aspect of teaching that you really enjoyed?
Especially like math, if you want a subject. And math was my favorite. But I had to teach all classes, all
Uh-huh.
back then. And I think the kids enjoy fifth grade. And I know how some people treat them. Didn't seem to know how to talk to them. And then the kid would say, I hate that teacher.
Oh.
That's probably why a lot of my friends said mom was their favorite teacher. So I think you treated
Most of them.
kids, like people.
Yeah. And even looking, Tammy, after losing your dad and your mom having such, believing in you and so much in bringing you into the fold
Right.
decision making. I mean, that's
Mhm.
goes to say, Lucy, you were able to see kids for their full potential.
Right.
That's such a gift.
That's a great way to put it. She really did see, she still does see all people at their full potential.
What a gift it's been to know you and to grow up with you and to have you as that leading, strong woman, inspiring person in the family, the matriarch here.
Right.
Keeping everyone together and really squeezing the juice out of life. That's been so fun. And, eating BLT sandwiches on your porch.
Yeah.
She does love a good BLT still
Yes.
and a good lobster roll.
Oh,
We
yeah.
just heard today that there's a place you can get a real like Maine lobster roll here. So we'll have to get one soon, maybe for your birthday.
Yeah.
Well, they've been trying to, from people around me, they want a lobster, but they wanted it from Maine.
That's right.
And
None of these West Coast lobsters.
Yeah.
and I'm not going to take one and bring it across country.
Mhm. Mhm.
And they're disappointed that I won't get it for them.
They're like, you're from Maine, Lucy. Why can't you just get us Maine lobster?
That's right.
Use those connections.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Is lobster one of your favorite foods?
I always liked it, but when growing up, we didn't have it often
Hmm.
because it is expensive, even in
Yeah.
Maine. But when we did have it, we really appreciated it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know somebody here had said, gee, we'd like to have some lobsters from Maine. And I'm not going to go for that because if they don't have their money up front first, The lobster's gonna be mine when it comes.
And then you get to eat all the lobster.
Right.
Oh my gosh. And I think celebrating with lobster is a great idea too. So anything else that you're looking forward to as a centenarian to celebrate your 100th birthday? Do you have any hopes and dreams or desires?
Gee, I haven't even thought about that. And I guess I'm 100 on about 10 days. No,
Yeah, in a
6 days.
couple days.
yeah,
Next Wednesday.
I haven't even thought about that.
It's a big milestone, Lucy.
It is.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to get out the cake here.
There's 2 less cupcakes I have to make.
Oh my
That's
God.
cute.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Just for you, you know? Well, Lucy, as we're thinking about you and your legacy of 100 years, what's one thing you want people to remember about you? And so when they think of Lucy DeRoche, they think of
I didn't think they remembered me for anything.
Well, you're leaving a legacy. You've been around 100 years.
100 years. Not many people are 100.
Yeah.
No, that's true. And since I retired, and that's quite a few years ago.
Yeah. Just think you've been retired as long as Vincent was alive.
I think you've been retired longer than Dad was alive, like Lisa said, longer than you worked. You've been retired.
Well,
That's kind of nice.
Yeah, and you were able to go on all those really cool trips.
right.
That's the key, right? Any other thoughts or ideas of, what's when it's a tough day, how do you turn that frown upside down? Because I think you've got to have good genes, which you've got great genes, but you've also got to have a positive attitude because you're someone who's still moving around and you're still puzzling on a regular basis, doing puzzles and um, so what kind of motivates you?
I just liked what I was doing.
Hmm.
And I think that's one of the big things.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I didn't always want to go on a vacation with somebody. I just want to go on myself sometimes. And I think everyone needs some free time.
Mm. Yeah.
And you always told me one of the things that kept you going was having a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, purpose.
So Mom has, until COVID, Mom volunteered after she retired
Oh,
for
yeah.
decades at a health clinic, at the hospital.
Yeah.
For a while, you drove an old lady around. She was probably 20 years younger than you are now. She was in her 80s.
Oh, what? I can't remember that.
Jean.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes. So I think being of service to others. You taught as a teacher. You were a service to all those students and their families.
Right.
Then you volunteered at Maine Med and the medical clinics.
Yeah.
And I think you just liked to be useful.
And that's the
Helping.
way I felt. I always wanted to be useful. I really did.
Helping others in
Doing
some way.
something that I could do to help somebody.
Even when you weren't volunteering, you were the one that would always go visit people in the hospital or family that were in the nursing home or
Right.
whatever. You were always visiting people.
Yeah.
I told someone earlier today, she never sat still, like in retirement or even the rest of my life knowing her as my mom. Like the summer came, you would think, no, because we were traveling to historical sites like
Right.
Gettysburg or somewhere in Virginia or going to Washington, D.C. or going to visit some long lost friends of her that had a kid my age, and we'd stay for a few days. She was dragging me all over the place. She's just likes visiting people.
Yeah, and how fun is that? Because you've got all of these fun memories of trips you
Right.
went on
Totally.
together and people you connected with. And
Yeah, she is the most fun mom. I couldn't have asked for a better mom. Not at all. She's amazing.
Yeah, and I thought that she should have time when we would do something. Well, if we did it alone or with usually it was the two of us, but not always. Maybe a friend of yours sometimes would go. I don't know what I would have done without her, because her dad passed away when you were how old?
6.
6. Big helper.
We did.
Yeah.
But you know what? We
What?
both had each other as our purpose, even though we were sad.
Right. That's
I
right.
had you. I had to keep going. You had me. You had to take care of me.
So we just kept going.
yeah. And really made the most of it and were there for one another. I love thinking about that trip to Scotland, Ireland, and England. I asked you probably 5 years ago or 6 years ago if you could go anywhere again, where would you go? And you had said you wanted to go back to Scotland.
Oh, gosh.
And you did get back to England. I forgot
Yes.
about that big trip. In 2013,
Yeah.
you and I went back to England and you wanted to see France. So you must have asked her after she'd already done England again.
We were going around again.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting in an Alsatian restaurant with her in Paris and looking across the table, and she had this big sneaky grin on her face. And I said, "What are you thinking about?" And she said, "I'm just thinking how I'm 86 and I'm sitting here at a restaurant in Paris."
You wild woman.
Right? Always the adventurer. Or the time, do you remember?
Yeah.
Jim and I had a Jeep Wrangler when we lived in Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
He would take it off trail or or off road. And Mom was visiting one time, so she sat in the front with him and I'm in the back seat, and Mom's very brave and always has been, and I am not. I didn't get that gene. So I'm in the back like, slow down, and Mom's like, wee. Like,
let's hit those bumps. Go faster.
like, I'm leaving you home, Tammy. I'll just go with your mom.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, the lifelong adventurer. I love that.
Yep.
Oh, Lucy. Well, I am just cheering you along for your 100th birthday. I'm so grateful for your time and for sharing this with us. Maybe, Tammy, you could share one last thing of what your favorite part of having Lucy as a mom has been.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, right.
My favorite thing about having you for a mom is just probably your unending love and support. No matter what I was trying to learn or where I wanted to live or whatever, Mom always loved me. And even when I wasn't probably the most lovable, because she does say all her gray hair came my senior year in high school, probably wasn't so lovable that year. Anything I wanted to do, she always just said, if you want to do it, you can do it. And she came to all my concerts when I was a kid in band, and she just made it all happen, encouraged me and
That's
loved me. She's my hero.
Yeah, she's my sweetheart.
Oh,
She's-
yeah.
She's the best. She
Yeah.
really is.
Yes, and of course, we were along part of the time. We didn't had just the two of us anyway.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mhm.
but we managed,
Yeah. And you travel the world together,
right?
It's true.
which is so fun. So thank you so much for going down memory lane with us and sharing your words of wisdom. I'm just so happy that you're 100 and we can celebrate together and, really live it up. And so, we'll plan the next trip and let's go.
You're gonna take a picture of that.
Oh
I
my
wish I
gosh.
could.
Yeah, I'll take a picture when it airs.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture of it and give it to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
Yeah.
That's
All
a
right. Well,
brainer.
thank
That's
you.
right.
Yeah. Woo! Happy birthday! All right. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Giving Grief Grace. It would be such a gift if you could share this episode with someone and brighten their day. You never know what will happen. Subscribe to get a weekly dose of positivity, and while you're at it, please leave a review. May you be kind to yourself in the week ahead and give yourself grace. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.